This is Kite Cutter TV with another presentation. We gotta talk about this. Okay, guys, it's President's Day and we have a rally in West Palm Beach for Donald Trump. Now that he has been acquitted on his impeachment trial, there's a good possibility that in 2024, Donald Trump will run again for president. Let's look ahead in the next 4 years. Joe Biden at the moment is destroying America. So I would think in the next 4 years, people are going to get sick and tired of him. Old Joe Biden will be around about 82. Will Kamala Harris run for president, or will Joe Biden run for a second term? Now, if Donald Trump runs again, rest assured that his supporters will vote him in office. The only reason why Joe Biden even won this time around, in my opinion, is because he had all of the news media, Black Lives Matter, all of sports, all of entertainment, Hollywood running against him. So he was basically running against everybody. How could he win in a situation like this? I'm looking ahead for the next 4 years because I'm thinking 2024 might be a big year for Donald Trump. Moving along also, what Joe Biden has done, I'm going to show you this next guy named Walter. Walter is a guy from El Salvador. Walter was in the MS-13 gang. Walter had 5 or 6 DUI convictions. So now he's been in ICE custody for 3.5 years. This is a candidate for Joe Biden not to deport. People like this, he doesn't want to deport. Criminals, people that have multiple DUIs that risk American citizens and legal immigrants' lives every day with these people driving around. Now, you know the left is giving them driver's licenses as well. How ridiculous can it get? So we got that and a few more illegal immigration topics to get into. Check this out.
Supporters of former President Donald Trump, they gathered in West Palm Beach earlier today. Organizers assembled right there on the corner of Southern Boulevard and Parker Avenue. Hundreds of people showed up from all across the state rallying for the former president. Mr. Trump there drove through the crowd to say hello to his supporters. The rally does come only a couple of days after lawmakers voted to acquit the former president at his second impeachment trial.
It's President's Day, and thousands of Donald Trump supporters lined the streets today in West Palm Beach to celebrate the former president. Organizers of the event say that the rally is being held to show support for the man they call America's greatest president. Trump supporters were carrying American, MAGA, and Trump 2020 flags while lining the streets, cheering as cars drove by and honked their horns in support. As you could see, huge buses carrying Trump supporters were also at the rally as people came from all over the state to take part in celebrating the former president on President's Day. Bikers for Trump, blacks, Hispanics, and women for Trump were all on site hoping to get a glimpse of the former president who was expected to show up at his own party. People were carrying signs that said, "We love Trump," "Women for Trump," and MAGA signs saying, "My expletive got acquitted." Supporters of the former president got quite the surprise when Donald Trump did indeed show up at his own party. The roads had been blocked off hours before he arrived to slowly drive by in his motorcade. The former president waved to all of his supporters as he passed by. Trump was also all smiles as people could be heard yelling, "We love you," and "Not guilty" as he passed by.
Mentally tortured. I would say it like that.
An Oakland man has been in ICE custody for more than 3.5 years and continues to fight for his freedom. A judge has ordered his release not once, but twice. But as KTVU's James Torres tells us, that man is still detained.
There is nothing unusual about this neighborhood in Oakland.
Hi.
For Flor Cruz and her mother Lucia, home is where the family is, but not every family member is home.
Everybody just hoping that he get out of there, someday soon.
Flor's brother, Walter, is a detainee at the Mesa Verde ICE Processing Center in Bakersfield. He's been there for more than 3.5 years, making him the second longest held detainee from Northern California.
As many mothers that has sons in jail must feel, it's not easy to have your son in jail.
Walter has a history of gang involvement. Bullied by gangs in El Salvador, he immigrated to the Bay Area to escape. Here, he was the target of the MS-13 gang, only to join them, he says, for his own protection. During a gang roundup in 2008, federal agents arrested him and placed him in solitary confinement. He was acquitted on all gang charges 3 years later.
The United Nations has found that over 2 weeks of solitary confinement is excessive and can have significantly harm people. Walter spent 3 years in solitary confinement during...
Raha Georgiani is an immigration lawyer with the Alameda County Public Defender's Office. She now represents Walter. Georgiani says the years of confinement led to Walter's alcohol addiction, and over the course of 6 years, he picked up 5 DUIs and served time for each. After his 5th sentence in 2017, he was detained by ICE. He sat inside Mesa Verde since, facing the threat of deportation.
Walter is afraid to go back to El Salvador because if he goes back, he's going to be tortured there.
An immigration judge agreed with that, but the Department of Homeland Security appealed. And according to immigration law, as long as DHS asks for an appeal, a detainee continues to be held in custody. There is no limit to how many times they can appeal. Walter's case went back to court where he won again. DHS appealed again.
It's like a mental torture. I would say it like that.
Walter's life at Mesa Verde isn't easy. Video calls are the only way he keeps in touch with family and his attorney. He tested positive for COVID-19, a federal judge calling the facility conditions abominable. And to keep busy, Walter draws.
I was little when he sent me this. I was in El Salvador. This is just, I think, some type of princess that he draw.
His lawyer now putting her own pen to paper. Her lawsuit says the Immigration Board, DHS, and the Department of Justice poorly handled Walter's case. She asks Walter be released from custody, saying keeping him detained is cruel and unusual punishment.
What is happening to Walter can be classified as a form of terror and torture. He's being indefinitely held, and no one can tell him whether or not at the end of this he will be in this country or that, and no one can tell him when that decision is ever going to come.
Georgiani hopes Walter's story is seen by the Biden-Harris administration. His family hopes for good news, but hopes aren't high.
I know he has made his mistake, but I'm sure he, he feels regret, he regret everything that he had done bad.
And while lawyers say the way his case is being handled is unusual, Walter believes his life and what he's asking for is not.
I will ask anybody if they ever make any mistake in their life, which I believe everybody does all the time, every day. It's just the difference is that some of us would make different mistakes, bigger mistakes than other ones.
If released, attorneys propose Walter be sent to a rehab center at the Salvation Army in Oakland. He would be monitored 24/7 during his stay. Now, KTVU did reach out to DHS and ICE for a comment on this story, but neither agency wanted to offer a statement. Happening this week, Walter's case will be heard in front of a district court judge for the first time, and that will determine whether he stays in custody or, at the very least, gets a new hearing in front of an immigration judge. It's a story we'll keep our eyes on and keep you posted. I'm James Torres, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
More aid will be given to people seeking asylum here in the United States. President Joe Biden's administration announced 25,000 asylum seekers will now be allowed to wait inside the United States until their cases can be heard in court. This announcement overturns a policy set by the Trump administration. Local immigration attorney Pablo Hurtado says that this will help people seeking refuge here in our country, but it will not be an easy process.
That slow process actually ensures justice. They have to collect evidence, they need counsel, there are specific things they need to prove, and they just need to get their case ready and be prepared to testify, provide evidence, and be able to explain why they fled their country.
According to Hurtado, over 70,000 people applied for asylum in the last year, and close to 25,000 still have active cases.
Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, God bless. Peace.